Hey guys, in today's video we are unboxing the next delivery from Combat Patrol. You can see here we're starting with our first bonus, a Combat Patrol mug. It's definitely a pretty thin little cheap mug, but it's got the same image that was on the poster that came in the first box. It's not the highest quality print, but hey, it's a free little mug. This is going to be issues 19 through 22. The first one has the Parasite of Mortex here, and this is our final tyranid model. It's the last one for the Combat Patrol and ends the Tyranids. This box ends both the Tyranids, the Space Marines, and starts the aeldari, which is the next army we'll be getting and collecting. But we'll go ahead and flip through here, and go ahead and shows us, like usual, how to build, as well as how to paint our new model up to the standard that everything else is. If you've been following my previous videos, I have not been painting the first two armies in this style, but I might be doing that with some of the upcoming ones. And then it goes into some lore, continuing some Imperium lore with the Crusade, and this section called the Enemy Within. That's part of like the general fiction that comes with these. So we have our next page of Silver Templars lore. It's a specific Space Marine chapter they've been giving us page after page. I assume it's some type of short story or something. I haven't actually read through any of it yet. And then we got the actual data card for the Parasite of Mortex. We do have a physical card for this as well. And it just goes to some of the abilities that the Parasite of Mortex has, some pluses and minuses, cons to it, pros and cons. And then our next scenario, Alpha Strike, which we set up some of these terrain cards in the middle, and it gives us our unit list and deployment zones. Shows us how to use some of the new abilities that come with the Parasite of Mortex. Not sure why I paused on the page for so long, but then it just goes through a couple of turns showing us how to do it. And this is the end. It shows us a nice display of what else to collect for Tyranids. Some examples of some other things we could buy. And of course there's a little preview on the back for what we got next, which it's already here, of course. So this is the Chaplain on Bike, which is actually a model I thought about buying quite a while back when I was first kind of collecting Warhammer stuff, just because just the model I think is really cool and really like. And I think it was relatively new at the time. It's a relatively new model. But this is our final Space Marine model. There he is, all painted up. Him I'm probably going to paint pretty similarly to how he is. Just maybe not the... I might take like the main armor panels of the bike and the shoulder pad and just paint them Dark Angels green. But of course, here's his instructions, which his are a little more involved than some of the things that we've had previously. Not too much, nothing. I mean, I've built things way more complicated than this, so it ain't nothing. And then goes into how to paint, of course. And actually, it shows us painting it separate from the base, which I think this is the first thing that's done that with. I don't think anything else has done that. Just so we can get to the rock, I guess. Of course, it's using all the paints that we've gotten so far in our collection. Of course, I obviously, looking behind this, I have a lot more than what this has, so I'll be able to actually finish him. And of course I won't be doing his shoulder pad blue, I'll be doing it green to match my Dark Angels. That's how I'm painting these guys. And then it's all of his little stat sheet and everything. I was really enjoying looking at the detail and stuff, because like I said, I really like this model. Goes into some pros and cons with him. Talks about this Crozius. And then gets into our new scenario, Written Down, which is him versus the Psychophage, and as well as there's showing him versus Leapers in the Tyranid Prime. Explains how the twin linked guns work and all that. And goes through the turn, Space Marines and Tyranids, with our two little forces. And of course, again, the last Space Marine model, so showing you, hey, here's some more shit you could buy. With that's issue 20. So now we're heading on to 21, which is our first aeldari, which has a Farseer in it. This is actually the first model that I've bought I've gotten where the base is part of the sprue. I've never seen that before. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of them that are like that, especially these character models. And we also got a new little battlefield with this one. These are all two-sided. I think in total there's going to be like 3 or 4 of them. But this one's like industrial, or it could be like inside of a ship or something. As well as on the backside. Just like a plain, simple dirt field. I think the previous one we got has got like a Mars terrain and like a regular grass field. I'm not sure. But this is our first issue with Aeldari lore in it. Issue 21. But of course, first we gotta build the guy and paint him, as usually happens with the new models. And he's a pretty simple, straightforward model. Nothing to it. He got no options or anything. Of course, go into all this detail, which I haven't decided what specific craft world I want to do the aeldari, but I think him I'll probably just do it standard like this. But now we got some aeldari lore. Talking about the dwindling flame, how they're running out of souls. Spells getting into the immaterium some more. Mind war, some psychic stuff. And then gets into his stats and all that. As well as his scenario behind enemy lines. It's a really simple one, just him versus some termagants. And there's 3 objective markers. It's a very, very bare bones scenario. Kind of like some of the first couple that came in the first issues, when you only had like two or three models. And of course, it's shown just going through the turns, securing points, and I think it's literally just him versus 2 termagants. And it's giving us a tease of what's coming soon with the Chaos Space Marines and Aeldari. But of course, next we got 2 more paints. We usually get a couple paints every issue, or every box, I should say. It's a nice yellow and brown color. Averland Sunset and Catachan Flush, I think, something like that. Yeah. It's right there in front of me. I should have just looked at the screen. But of course, it's going to continue our aeldari lore after showing us how to update our models with our 2 new colors. And it kind of explains like what details you're looking for to paint with what colors. And it just kind of gives you some general, hey, this is where it's a work in progress. This is what they should be at now. Let me get into more aeldari lore, aeldari war host, which I believe that's the combat patrol that we're getting. He talks about the craft worlds a bunch. Gives us the 4 primary ones on the next page here. Samhan, Ulthway, Yandin, and Alatok? I don't know. I'm not sure which one I want to do. And I really like the Yandin, but we'll see. I like them and the Alatok. And of course a nice big map of the Imperium. It's a big 2-page spread. And it talks about the 4 primary war zones. Pastor, the Nashman Gauntlet, the Pride Nexus, and the Chanlath Expanse. I don't ever hear them talk about the Bastion much. I hear about Nashman and Pride Nexus and Chanlath a bunch. The other one. And of course goes into gives us some information on our Wraith Lord, which is interesting. And then it just explains the general rules for the actual Combat Patrol game mode. Now that we have 2 full Combat Patrols. And that's mostly what this is going into, and like about like collecting the different ones. Yeah, if you enjoyed these videos, be sure to like and subscribe. I do have a lot more videos coming. I took a bit of a break recently because I got sick and there's some other stuff going on. But I had a bunch of videos recorded. I just never got to edit. But now I'm working on them and trying to get them all out. So be sure to come back for the next one. See you later.